The Arctic used to be like the savannas of Africa. It used to be big grasslands, right? It wasn't all covered in trees and things. And that's a recent adaptation since the mammoths went away 10, 20,000 years ago. What's happened is the permafrost up there is melting. Underneath that permafrost is like 1.5 trillion tons of carbon. And once that carbon enters the atmosphere, it heats things up like crazy. By removing those mammoths, it's allowing that permafrost to melt much quicker and release more carbon.
How do they make it colder?
When there's trees and shrubs, they take in more heat, and that heat transfers into the ground. So in this park that they've been doing this experiment in, they've put in a couple hundred animals that aren't mammoths, and they're knocking trees over with the tractors. And once they knock trees over and they simulate a mammoth knocking the trees and shrubs over, the fleet grazers are able to keep the vegetation from regrowing. So when the vegetation doesn't regrow, you get all this grassland, and the grassland has snowpack. The snowpack gets stomped, so there's no insulation. It reflects more light that make the ground, I think on average, it's like 8 degrees colder.